Appreciate your coming. I believe there are a few people next door at the basketball game, so I appreciate your coming. I'm Fred Romkema. I sit on the Appropriations Committee, so I've been inundated with numbers for the last about 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And this week will be proverbial crunch time, because on Friday we will have a budget spending about $4.2 billion of your money, my money, our money, to do the better for the betterment of South Dakota. 1.2 billion of that is a general fund. That's the part we discuss vehemently and in very much detail. There's additional $2 billion that comes from the federal government. We need to pay attention to that, because as our economy grows, then the federal government's contribution, particularly to social services, decreases. And it looks as though it may be $50 million next year. So while things are good right now, we need to be mindful of the $50 million that we'll have to probably insert into our budget. In addition to those $2 billion in federal funds, there's $1 billion in what's called fees. Fees are for example, game fishing parks, the licenses and so on. And believe it or not, all those fees we pay add up to about $1 billion, and they contribute to the various departments of our state government. We have revenue projections this week. We have 2 competing organizations that prognosticate our numbers. The Bureau of Finance and Management, which works for the executive branch, and the Legislative Research Council, which works for the legislative branch. They work for us, the legislators. The Bureau of Finance and Management works for the governor. They ascertain through statistical analysis on the part of the LRC, or Bureau of Finance and Management, and trends through the Bureau of Finance and Management, LRC, excuse me. And this year, the projections came up to be 1.11% different from each other. So basically, the projections were right on. And depending how the analysis is completed, we have about anywhere from $30 to $50 million that were in excess of projection. Not atypical for the budgets that we put together in our state. We're a conservative state fiscally, and typically we have money left over, as was the case this year. We're in good fiscal shape. However, the events that occur in Greece, we heard a lot about Greece this week, and how that may affect us is how we do our budget. Now, the things, besides numbers that I did carry a few bills, constituent bills. Those are difficult. They take a lot of time. And Randy Sacking's in the audience, but we did the airplane in the garage, the homemade airplanes, and that went down on the Senate side after having sailed through the House, but couldn't get it through the Senate side. And then we had some of the gold miners, the prospectors, the old-time prospectors. We didn't get that out of committee. But being in appropriations takes an awful lot of time, and the time to give to bills is rather limited. On a personal basis, I'm a speech pathologist by training, and 35 years ago, I was working on a licensure bill. And I must say that the licensure bill for speech pathologists did get through the House and Senate. It was waiting the governor's signature, so that was a victory on my personal basis. I do believe that it'll result in better services in the arena of speech pathology and audiology. I will answer further questions. Like I said, it's going to be a rather busy week. Friday night, we'll have a budget that will be balanced and will serve our state well.